It's that time of the year again where we have not gotten enough of all the superhero movies that we're getting another one, and I'm speaking about none other than the August mega superhero hit. Is it a hit? Let's find out. I'm talking about Blue Beetle. This is going to be a non spoiler free. I mean, this is going to be a spoiler free, non spoiler free. I don't know what I'm talking about right now, but this is going to be a spoiler free review. I just saw Blue Beetle and I honestly went into this movie without any expectation. I am so tired of DC. I am tired of everything they've been recently making. Black Adam sucked. Great graphics, but it sucked. It would just rock with superpower. Shazam, I think Shazam sucked, especially part two. I really don't like when you just basically make the same movie again. And I think what Shazam was chasing did not fit, so that's another different story. And then you had the utter failure. This is the Flash is probably one of the biggest joke of all time. And the reason why, and I'm going to compare it to Blue Beetle in one particular matter, is this Blue Beetle is $120 million movie, and it runs circles around the Flash in terms of visual effects, in terms of the quality of CGI and VFX you see in this. Like for $120 million, they did a fantastic job, and Flash for 300 something million did the worst, ugliest job I have seen in decades. Completely different story. We're going to stick to Blue Beetle, who is one of the most, I think, one of the oldest comics ever. The hero that came out, I think, in the 39. The first time you heard about Blue Beetle, or for like, weebs or nerds like us, Blue Beetle was in Batman Brave and the Bold, came also in Young Justice, Injustice, and it's not a popular character in the DC universe. You're comparing to Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, Green Lantern. There's Red Tornado. There's so many popular DC characters. Blue Beetle falls into that little B tier, like Robin, all the Young Justice, Teen Titan-ish era. But for this movie to come out in a shitstorm after almost getting canned, like Batgirl did, and other movies from DC got canned, I heard that this movie was supposed to like get canned, and the director or somebody just pushed it. And I know that James Gunn is going out and saying that this is going to be the first part or part of his universe, and he's going to keep Blue Beetle around. And I don't know, I'm getting mixed messages right now. I don't know either if this is the last movie of the old DCEU, or is this the new movie. It might be a bridge in it, but let's talk about the movie. You see Miguel. I'm gonna call him Miguel because I'm gonna butcher his real name, but I know him as Miguel from Cobra Kai, and I really like this dude, and I am a fan of his because I feel like he is a very nice, humble person. What he portrays on screen, I think I could see him being the same type of person in real life, and I really like that. And I am already a fan of his watching Cobra Kai, and I've seen him do martial arts. So some of the things you see in the trailer, where you see the Blue Beetle, like he's doing all these martial arts scenes, they're believable because I've seen him doing Cobra Kai. So the movie is about, it's not any new breath of fresh air. It's nothing like an extraordinary new movie that you have never seen before. I feel that Blue Beetle has a combination of almost every single superhero movie you've seen. It's like a little copy paste. You got this inspiration from here, inspiration from there, and it works. I enjoyed this movie. I actually was very, very surprised. I had fun watching this. I had low expectations going into this movie, but I couldn't hate it. I couldn't dislike it. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the movie from start to finish. I like the characters. I think Jenny was great. She is part of the core family, and I don't want to get more into it, but she basically helps um Hammy get this. Hammy is this immigrant Latino family member who is living in Edge Key, which is the slums of, or the ghetto of Palmer City. And I really like how beautiful the city looked. It looked very futuristic, and I really liked the graphics, especially his suit when he transformed. When he would transform, I think it was one of the most coolest transformation for an origin story that I've seen yet. It looks scary. I get people like the family didn't react how terrified how a normal family should, but if you kept watching it, they're a very sarcastic, cheesy bunch. And this movie is that. It is cheesy, but it's not like a corny cheesy. And I think George Lopez, being the comedian that he is, really set the tone. His comedic timing is so good, and you really love his character Rudy. He's like a paranoid person thinking that the feds are out to get him, but they have a lot of cliche moments. There's positives in this movie, there's negatives, and honestly I think there's more positive because, like I said, I went into this movie without any expectation. Like, bottom, DC has failed all up until now. I mean, it still needs a new recipe for something new. We have not gotten anything new. I think the last time we got something new was Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. That those type of movies keep exceeding expectations. They're completely different. DC is already failing. It failed. It's a new reboot now. MCU is sinking now. MCU just recently released Secret Invasion, and Secret Invasion was boring. But this movie, the heart of the movie was family, and I really enjoy it. I'm a sucker when it comes to this stuff. Not the Shazam one. I felt like the Shazam one was like a mixed crowd of, I don't know, it just did not feel as emotional and how touching this was. I really like the family dynamics, and everybody had their own strength. They all were oddballs, but together they worked, and that's the whole heart of this movie is family. And I really like Hammy being the center point because he plays it really, really, really well. Because Miguel, like I said, nice kid. He feels and looks genuine, and that character is being pulled into here. There's a lot of good Easter eggs and references. You see references of Gotham. They speak about Batman, Superman, and Flash, but I like how they don't give a certain name, so it keeps it open. Anybody could fill that role. So now let's get talking about what happens next. I enjoyed this movie a lot, and I really hope it is kept like a solo brand, like a bridge, like in the middle. It exists in the DC universe, either past or present, but it's just in its own world. I felt like this movie was DC's vision for Ant-Man or Tom Holland's Spider-Man. That's what it felt like. It had a combination of Ant-Man, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Superman, Venom. It has so many things, and especially when the Scarab Kaja was trying to work with Hammy, and it felt like when Tom Holland for the first time when he was playing Peter Parker put on the suit that he got from Tony, and then he changed up all the settings, and he goes on kill mode and everything. You felt like that. So there's a lot of factors that are being pulled from other superhero movies, but this movie by itself was really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed every single moment that had to do with the family and his nana, which is a grandma. She in the trailer when I originally saw, I felt like it was like Spy Kids or like in Spy, like it just felt kind of corny. But after watching while watching the movie, I just couldn't help myself and give her the pass for everything she did. She was awesome. She was such a badass. The grandma was a real badass. I think she was incredible. Everything worked. I think the mom and the sister had a good strong part. The mom I felt was the weakest out of the bunch. The dad was incredible and his connection was good. Let's talk about the Tron looking villain, Omak. I thought his powers and things were cool, but he did not feel like a original villain. We've seen this already in Iron Man, and I know people are gonna draw that, but I'm just gonna stick this to the movie. It felt like a very classic movie, especially how the intro started. It felt like one of the old shows, superhero shows or movies you're watching where you get the introduction of the characters in the beginning instead of towards the end, and it's telling a whole journey of it. It felt like, I was watching Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, when he's transforming and you see all the history of it. So it was really nice. And this origin story, I think you want to know more. There's so many references to old the old Blue Beetle. There's so many Easter eggs. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I am gonna give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, there's a lot of things. It's not the best DC movie, but it's better than both the Wonder Womans. I think Wonder Woman 1 was a copy of First Avengers. I really did not like that it was trying to find this identity. I don't think Gal Gadot is a good actress. I think she tries to play her charm as acting, but she's really not good. I cringe every time she acts, and I hate her stupid, ridiculous Wonder Woman music. That's another story. Flash sucks. All the Shazam sucks. Aquaman was good, but I think I enjoyed Blue Beetle more. I really like the family dynamics. Like Aquaman, Amber Heard too. That's another story. But out of all the MCU, out of all the DC movies, Blue Beetle definitely surprised me the most. I liked how genuine it is. It's lighthearted, it's wholesome, it's fun. Action scenes are not all crazy, but the VFX is done really nicely. And when he was trying to understand his powers, I really liked the whole setup. It was really good. Overall, I am glad it actually exceeded my expectation. I am glad it didn't turn out to be a horrible movie where I would just be sulking in my seat like I did when I was seeing The Flash. I enjoyed this. Have you seen Blue Beetle? What did you think? If you have, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm Suhe. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.